Welcome aboard and thank you for joining us on this journey along the meanders of the Seine. Our trip will take us from Giverny to Le Havre. The entire Norman Seine Valley is running for the title of the European Capital of Culture 2028. From meander to meander, from cliff to loch, from land to sea, to the estuary and the opening to the sea, the Seine tells us its story. Our first stop will be in Giverny, a small Norman village where the famous Impressionist painter Claude Monet lived and painted some of his most well-known masterpieces. Over the years, Giverny has become a must-see destination for international tourists. We are now in Claude Monet's blue-tiled kitchen. We will cross over the Japanese bridge and the famous pond on which lie the water lilies, found in the masterpiece Water Lilies. In the region near Vernon, the guinguettes along the Seine's banks have been an integral part of the scenery. We will now stop in Les Andalys, a small charming town at the foot of the magnificent ruins of Château Gaillard. This impregnable fortress, built over 800 years ago by Richard the Lionheart, was finally besieged and recaptured by Philip Augustus. Rouen, the historical and cultural capital of Normandy.
Le gros horloge de Rouen est le symbole de la municipalité de la ville.
Capital of Impressionism, Rouen is not only a beautiful city, but also a dynamic and modern one that will charm lovers of art, history, and culture.
71 communes et 500 000 habitants.
Rouen is known for the variety of its heritage. Its internationally renowned museums, its great Gothic cathedral, its numerous churches, and its half-timbered houses. It is also known for its strong representation of women in public spaces, such as the renaming of streets and squares after famous historical figures. We are now passing by the Flaubert Pavilion in Coissé, where the famous writer Gustave Flaubert wrote some of his masterpieces, such as Madame Bovary. This pavilion is a true testimony of French literary history, filled with the creative and artistic atmosphere that prevailed in this region during the 19th century. Here is a description of Rouen by Flaubert from the panorama of Côte Sainte-Catherine. At a glance, the city appeared, descending like an amphitheater and drowned in fog. It widened beyond the bridges, confusedly. Seen from above, the whole landscape looked as still as a painting. The ships at anchor hulled in a corner, the river rounded its curve at the foot of the green hills, and the islands, oblong in shape, looked like large black fish motionless on the water. Sometimes, a gust of wind carried the clouds toward the Côte Sainte-Catherine, like aerial waves breaking silently against a cliff. The Abbey of Jumièges is one of the largest and most beautiful Romanesque abbeys in Normandy. It has become one of the most majestic ruins in France, offering visitors a grandiose and fascinating spectacle. The beauty of the vestige of this abbey did not escape the discerning eye of Victor Hugo, who regularly evoked Jumièges in his writings. We are now passing the Abbey of Saint-Vendry, where Benedictine monks continue their monastic tradition in a peaceful and serene setting conducive to meditation and contemplation in harmony with the surrounding nature. The house of Victor Hugo in Ville, where the famous writer stayed and wrote some of his most moving poems, is a symbolic place in French literature in the 19th century. For example, here is a letter written by Léopoldine, Victor Hugo's daughter, in which she expresses her admiration for the beauty of the river in which she will lose her life a few years later. In this correspondence, addressed to her beloved father, she writes, "All the banks along the Seine are so beautiful that during this journey we did not have a moment of boredom. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, my dear father, for it is you who taught us to appreciate and enjoy beautiful things. The Seine borders the garden of Monsieur Vacquerie. This is a charming house. It would be even more so if you lived here with us." We are now at the regional natural park Les Boucles de la Seine Normande, classified by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve. This natural gem must be preserved as it houses a large variety of natural habitats as well as rare and protected animal species. Numerous trails allow you to cross it without disturbing the precious balance of harmony within nature. We will make a stop in Honfleur at the mouth of the Seine. We will discover its old basin lined with half-timbered houses, its wooden church, its art galleries, and gastronomic restaurants. The birthplace of Eric Satie, Honfleur offers a unique experience and represents the authentic charm of Norman culture, combining art, history, and gastronomy in a picturesque and enchanting setting. We have come to our last stop, Le Havre, one of the most important port cities in Europe. Inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List for its innovative post-war architecture. Le Havre is now a top tourist destination, offering a wide variety of cultural and sporting activities. We wish you a safe journey home. We hope that on this trip along the Seine you discovered the riches of Normandy and had an unforgettable experience. This region is full of so many cultural and natural treasures, we would be delighted to show you more during your next trip aboard. Thank you again for your time and see you soon on the Seine.